guys, welcome back to my channel at EbonyJasmin. If you're new here, thank you so much for joining us. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe so you can keep up with everything we got going on here and just stay up to date and be in the loop, okay? So in today's video, I'm gonna be talking about my BMT experience. I'm gonna go through everything from 0 week all the way to the 8th week, well, graduation week. Tell you everything that you should expect, because there's definitely specific things that happen every single week. There's definitely a method to the madness. So if you're interested to learn more about that, stay tuned. And also guys, just a quick disclaimer, I have this weird curl that doesn't want to act right. So if you see it pop out like this, I'm trying to keep it back here, but if you see it pop out like that, don't judge me, okay? All right, so let's get right into the video. Now, just so you guys know, if you've been keeping up with my other videos, as you should, my experience was a little bit different. So I got to BMT a little bit later than everyone else. So like my 0 week, which is the first week, was cut a little bit short. So like all the initial running off the bus, being yelled at, having to throw your bags, dump them, get to your rooms. I thankfully didn't go through any of that. So I'm gonna be speaking from my experience, and just keep in mind it'll be a little bit different just from that very beginning. The first few days will be different for me, okay? All right, guys. So I went to MEPS, and the following morning I swore in, officially swore in, and then I was shipped out. So it was, I think it was like 6 people swearing out that day. I think I was the only Air Force person, actually. Everyone had already left. So it was just me swearing out of the MEPS in Richmond, Virginia. So swore in, got on the bus to the airport. Everything was paid for, everything was bought for us. We had our itineraries, we knew like what time our flights were, where we had to go, where we had to be, everything was taken care of. So keep that in mind. You don't gotta worry about how you're getting to where you gotta be. You're gonna be able to get there. So coming out of Virginia to San Antonio, I had to take 2 flights. I think I went to, where'd I go? Atlanta and then San Antonio, I think. Yeah, I went to Atlanta and then San Antonio. So I had 2 flights. So they provided us with meal money and all that stuff so that we'd be okay while we were at the airport. So it was a really, really long day, y'all. So I left early in the morning, but I didn't get to San Antonio until probably 10 o'clock p.m. So I got to the airport at San Antonio, and I only had 1 carry-on duffel bag or whatever. That's gonna be in a whole nother video where I talk about what you need to pack for BMT, because really it ain't shit. So anyways, then I had to go and meet up with some other Air Force people that had also shipped out late. So I walked to a certain area that we all were directed to go to wait for someone to come get us. So when I walked over there, I saw 4 other people. It was 1 other girl. Shout out to Nichols. She ended up being in my flight. And then it was 3 other guys. So we were all just sitting there. We were all kind of hey, are you guys, Air Force, going to BMT also? You guys shipped out late too? We all had the same story where we all were called up kind of late to ship out or whatever. So we were all just chilling there, talking for a little bit, getting to know each other for about 10 minutes or so. And then all of a sudden we see a sergeant come over, and she was not playing. Everything from that moment was game over, get your asses up, we about to go. That was her demeanor, honestly. She was everybody stand in line, give me your orders, put your bags down. It was very she wasn't playing any games. And then she was all right, follow me, let's go. So we all followed her out to the airport, and oh, I missed the part. She told me and Nichols, she was take out your earrings, put your hair in a bun. I had my hair down or whatever, I was I was chilling. put your hair in a bun, take your earrings out, take your jewelry off, like straight up. Like that was my first encounter with what was gonna be the next 8.5 weeks of my life. So we did all of that. Oh, I think she made us tuck our shirts in too. She was like, tuck your shirts in. Anyways, y'all get the point. So then we walked out with her. We went to a van that she had parked and we all got in. We had to like get in like from the back and fill it in from the front. It wasn't just like, oh, like I'm sitting here, I'm sitting up front, like shotgun. No, it was like, get in from the back, fill it in from the back to the front. So we all got in there. And I think when we got in the van, she was like, everybody turn off your phones. I think she made us turn off our cell phones and put them in our bags before we got in the van. That's right. I think that was while we were still in the airport doing all that stuff. So we all sat in the van, sat in silence, and drove to BMT. The airport ride was, the ride from the airport to the base wasn't that bad at all. It was like maybe like 25, 30 minutes. Also keep in mind that more than likely you're gonna be with other people who are traveling with you to BMT or leaving out of your same area or like meeting up at like the airport that, you guys go to before you go to San Antonio. Just keep in mind, it's not gonna be like my story where it was literally just me by myself up until I got to San Antonio right before we rode the van to the base. I was by myself that whole entire time. Luckily, I traveled by myself a lot already and have before, so it wasn't really like a big deal to me, but I know some people who haven't traveled at all, that would be like a really scary experience before going into like an experience like BMT. But just keep in mind, 9 times out of 10, it won't be like my story. You'll be with other people, you'll be with a group, and it'll be all good. You guys can be scared together and have each other to, rely on. I just had my damn self, but that's okay. What's new? So we drove there, and then when we got there, we pulled in, and she made us like come out single file. We like sat down while she like got a bunch of her stuff together. She took us into a room and opened a closet or like a little fridge, freezer, something. And there was like a bunch of like box lunches in there. She was like, if you're hungry, grab one like now or whatever. I didn't take one because I was too nervous to eat. I think a couple of the guys grabbed one and then she sent us into a room. And I was really glad I didn't get one because the guys were talking about how freaking nasty those box lunches were. I think it was expired. One of the guys, I think his box, like his sandwich was like expired or something. Like it was bad. So I didn't get one because I wasn't hungry. So we were sitting in this classroom for like, I don't know, maybe like an hour, just like waiting. Like, and mind you, it's like really late at this point. So it's like probably like close to like midnight or so. So we're just waiting. I think the sergeant was like getting some other stuff together, like behind the scenes or whatever. So she finally comes in the room and calls us into another room. So we go in there, and this is basically where we're issued all of our like initial items. So we're all given a backpack. The backpack has like all of like your essential things in there. Like there's soap in there, toothpaste, a toothbrush, notebooks, your reflective belt, just your lock, just a bunch of like necessities that you'll need for BMT, like shower shoes. It had everything that like you would need, like that was a necessity for BMT, all in that backpack. And we had to like go through everything, make sure we had every single item, and just get like certain things like set up within that. So we did all of that. That took a good minute. Cause some of the guys, like some of the guys in there just were like so dumb. Like she would tell us to like do something a certain way, and like like someone would do the exact opposite. Like it was already off to like a super rough start. I was like, are people really this like slow or like maybe just nervous? I don't know. But anyways, that took a while. And then after that, she took me and the other girl that was with me, Nichols, who was in my flight, and then the guys, like we got separated so that we could go like up to our dorms. So as we were driving up, going to our dorms, I literally was like praying to God that I was living like in the newer dorms. So I had done some research before going to BMT, and I saw that like there were like these really like nice newer dorms, and there was like these other dorms that like no one wanted to like be housed in or whatever. So the old dorms are called Alcatraz, and they're kind of like jokingly known as like the ghetto of like BMT. And then the newer dorms are called Disneyland. So I'll try to find like a picture or something, see if I can like put that in here so you guys can see. But anyways, so I was like, Lord, please, please let me be in Disneyland, please, Lord. So we're driving up and we're pulling up, and I'm like, it was dark though. Like it was like, at this point, it was like past midnight. So I couldn't really see, but I was like, ooh, like this looks like Disneyland. Like it looked like some newer, like nicer dorms or whatever. We get closer and closer, and I'm like, yes, like, thank you, God. Everything's gonna be fine. Like I'm in Disneyland, like what's up? So I was really happy about that. If you're living in Disneyland, like everyone's gonna hate on you because everyone like acts like if you're in Disneyland, like, you know, you're, I don't know, like BMT politics. Anyways, so we pull up and we get taken upstairs like to our dorm or whatever. Everyone else was asleep, so we had to like be really, really quiet, but we like got our shower stuff, like took a shower, we like picked a bed and stuff. So we were just trying to like not be loud and just like get ourselves together and like try to get some sleep, because at this point it's like pushing like 2 a.m. or so. And I knew we were probably gonna have to wake up early the next morning. I didn't know how early, but I was like, let me hurry up and like just get myself settled and like lay down and just like think about what the fuck I just got myself into. So anyways, y'all, see, there it go. The next day, honestly guys, everything is kind of a blur as far as like specific days. All I know is, I know I was woken up like really, really early, like yelling, like being like, you know, rushed to like move quickly, all that stuff. So I specifically remember, mind you, I got to BMT late, so I don't know what the fuck is going on. I don't know how to do anything. It was a freaking mess for me. So I remember we were taken outside in the dark and we were all like lined up and had to like do this thing called like taller tap, where you like form up and like you tap if someone's taller than you. It's too much to explain if you're not like military, you don't understand. Anyways though, it was a bunch of stuff going on that I had no idea at this point, like what I was doing. So I was just looking crazy. I was getting yelled at. They were like, trainee, like, how do you not know what to do? Knowing damn well I don't know what to do because I just got here a couple hours ago. But, you know, they're not gonna take it easy on you. So I was just getting a whole lot of shit the first few days I was there because I didn't know what the fuck was going on. And of course it was my fault. So, you know, it is what it is. It wasn't really my fault. But yeah, so all right guys, so stay tuned for part 2 of this video. I'm gonna get into the specific weeks. We're gonna talk about 0 week, 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th graduation. So stay tuned, be on the lookout for that video, and I will continue right where we left off. Thank you so much for watching.